Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. Today's one of my favorite days. It's Lake Nona Regional Chamber of Commerce Member Spotlight Day. And we love working with the Lake Nona Regional Chamber of Commerce. You should check them out at lakenonacc.org. But today is all about the Member Spotlight. And this is Marissa Smith. She's with Premier Sotheby's Realty. And enjoy your life. And now that I have talked to her, I know that is her title, but she also lives it, eats it, and breathes it. Welcome, Marissa. How are you today?
Good morning, Ted. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to have you on the show. I appreciate your patience. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, so I'm super excited to have you on. And so we talked before we went live that we want origin story. They want to know, you didn't come out of the womb talking about real estate. At least I don't think so. So they want to kind of know your journey on how you became a realtor.
All right, just a little bio background. I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
And Brooklyn, Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. And family moved out to Long Island when I was 9. And I grew up the rest of the way on Long Island. And
What
then
part?
I was in Comac-Dix Hills in
I
Suffolk
had
County.
lots of friends and family around Coram.
All right. That's a little bit further out on
Yeah, it's definitely further.
Yeah. So, and I still stay in touch with all my Comac friends that I grew up with.
Awesome.
On Facebook. And I went to Catherine Gibbs School, which is a very fancy finishing business school. It's a business school. And then I worked in Manhattan.
And you say it properly, which I love.
Manhattan. I worked in Manhattan from when I was 19, and I worked at the highest levels of business. I was actually executive assistant to presidents and CEOs of major corporations, and I also worked in fashion, law. I actually worked for senior law partners in major New York City law firms. And as part of that, I worked in sports and entertainment. Wow. So, some of the clientele, when I worked in fashion, I was executive assistant to the president of Givenchy, the designer.
Wow.
Yeah, in the Garment Center. And when I worked for the two different senior partners in major New York City law firms, part of our clients were the Major League Baseball Players Association, the Basketball Players Association, NFL properties. So if you were ripping off the NFL logo or team in any way, you got a cease and desist letter from me.
Nice.
It came from me. I sent them out. And I met a lot of people, a lot of celebrities. And it was a lot of fun. But then I moved to Florida.
And yes, you came down to the Sunshine State.
I did. I came down. I had my daughter. She was 6 weeks old, and I put her on a plane and brought her down to Florida. And
what made you come here?
I'm sorry?
What made you come here?
Well, my husband was an airline captain for United, and he commutes at a Newark airport. So he always wanted to live in Florida, no state tax. And he figured, well, all these other pilots commute, I'll just commute too. Because we were almost going to move to New Jersey, but he bit the bullet and we came down to Florida and we bought a house and built it. And I was involved with my daughter's schooling, and I did a lot of volunteer work for church. And when she was 10, I became a realtor.
What made you? I'm always fascinated by that, because it's usually people transition into that. It's not what they start their careers out or their lives out with. What made you go? Did you always know you could sell? Did you have an interest in real estate prior? Like, what was the impetus behind that?
Well, I became a realtor in 2003, so I've been around a long time now. And I became a realtor because I just love to go look at homes. Every time a new subdivision would open, and back in the 90s, we were growing like crazy.
Yep.
It wasn't so congested as it was now. So I was watching a lot of new subdivisions go up all around the Dr. Phillips area, the Windermere area. The Lake Nona area came much later. But as soon as a new subdivision would open, I was right there, Johnny on the spot, right there, looking at the model homes. Always in the back of my mind, maybe we'll move, maybe we'll move. And I just loved it. I loved floor plans. When I was a kid, I used to design floor plans. And I used to write them out. And so I always enjoyed it. And I love people. And I was an actress and model for a while here in Florida for quite a
That's
few
right.
years.
All right. So what did you do with that? Was it local theater, TV commercials, movies? Because we did have a thriving, or a beginning of a thriving movie in Orlando. We had a whole bunch shot for a while. What type of acting and modeling did you do?
Well, we did. And that was when the Imagineers was still at Disney Hollywood Studios
Yep.
before they moved them out. And so I did quite a few Disney spots and print ads and commercials and some industrial films for Disney and for some other in-house other corporations.
So cool.
It was fun.
You have led a life where so many different arenas have touched it, or you've touched it, between sports and modeling and acting and attorneys. And I mean, that must give you some sort of, you can talk to anybody about anything, I would imagine.
Yes. And the great part about my career in New York was that because I was at the highest levels of corporate America, part of my job was to keep things confidential. And so that's very important when I work with clients.
Yes.
Because what we discuss stays with me. I was trained that way in New York. I handled a lot of sensitive matters in New York, especially working at the law firms. And I bring that with me to my work as a realtor in my interactions with my clients.
So important, right?
Yes,
I feel like
very important.
confidentiality is such a rare thing now. When people know and feel secure and safe, it's a whole different other relationship, because a lot of times people say it, but they don't mean it or practice it. And I agree with you. I think in our industries as a lender, they have to be able to tell us everything that they can possibly, where the bodies are buried, because if they don't, somebody's going to find them. And so it's good to, to me, it's the key. It's the foundation to having a successful real estate career, whatever part of it you're in. So you're with Premier Sotheby's. Tell us a little bit about the market you're feeling right now. What's going on? Are we shifting? Is it typical end of year where things slow down? What are you seeing?
I'm seeing a little bit of a slowdown of the craziness of people bombarding a home and having these bidding wars. It slowed down a little bit. I sold a home in the spring. It sold in 3 days. I could have sold it in 1 day, but I waited for the highest and best offer.
Good.
And I got about 7 offers within 2 days or more. But that frenzy, I think, is starting to calm down now, because the housing prices have been elevated to a point where a lot of people cannot afford to buy a home, because they just can't afford the astronomical home prices. And I think they're overinflated right now.
It's shifting, though. I think you're right. I feel like I'm starting to see price reductions or whatever the pretty words are for that again. Realtors are doing open houses, which were almost completely unnecessary before because you barely got it on the MLS and it was sold.
It was gone. It was gone
And
in a
so
day.
now it's shift. I feel the same too. I feel like people are taking their time a little bit. The overinflated pricing is we're starting to see that fade. And it's normalizing, which it usually does. The market usually begins to normalize itself. And you're out in Lake Nona. Let's talk a little bit about why as a realtor or why you as a person, why being a member of the Lake Nona Regional Chamber is important.
Well, I joined the chamber quite a few years ago, and I think it was 2017. And I did become an ambassador, and I really, really, really enjoy it so much. I really encourage everyone out there in the Lake Nona regional area, Lake Nona, North St. Cloud, Moss Park area. I really encourage you to join the chamber. It's so much fun. You get to meet so many people in the community. You make lasting friendships. We get together. We have a once a month happy hour where we get together at different venues and different restaurants, and we just mingle and have fun and network. And it's just a great thing to have. It really gels the community together.
I
And we
feel like
also,
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, well, we also have once a month business luncheon, very informative. We have a different speaker every month, and it's all about what's happening in the Central Florida area. And we do have business connections, breakfast connections that are once a month in the morning, and they have speakers there that help you with your business. And the Lake Nona Chamber is just there to help everyone make their business better.
Agreed. I feel like everyone involved in the Lake Nona Chamber, their whole point, they do to me the best job. And any other chambers out there that watch this, come see me and we can talk. But I feel like Don and Madeline and the entire team there, it's all about promoting the members. It's really about the neighborhood, promoting the members, bringing light to the people that join, added value. I mean, it's so minimal to become a member of the chamber. And yet the value that you get back, the things that you get back it's astronomical. You can pick and choose. There's so many opportunities that they provide, I feel like. That's what I believe makes the Lake Nona Chamber unique and special. All right. So let's say we have a buyer, seller, investor. What's the best way for them to reach you, Marissa, and get in touch with you and find out more about what you do?
Well, you can reach me through my website. That's Marissa Smith. Premier. Did I get that?
I got it. It's scrolling across the bottom. It's marissasmith.premiersotheby'srealty.com. So that is scrolling across the bottom there.
Yes. And you could also reach me on Facebook, Marissa Smith Realtor. And there's a link if you want to find the value of your home. Just click on the link and you'll get a free estimate of the value of your home. And you can reach me on LinkedIn, Marissa Smith, and Marissa Smith Realtor. And my email address is marissa.smith@premiersir.com. And if you go to my website or my Facebook page, and I really encourage you to go to my Facebook page because I post really, really nice articles about taking care of your home and different questions about mortgaging. And it's very insightful. And it has a lot of good tips and a lot of fun things for people to click on. So I would encourage you to go there. And all my contact information is on my Facebook page, Marissa Smith Realtor.
Fantastic. You're a joy. I love your accent like we talked about before we went
Yay!
live. Brings me back. You said Brooklyn, makes me want pizza. I'm
I
having all
know.
sorts of all
I
sorts of
know.
memories this morning with you. Marissa Smith, thanks for your patience. Thanks for coming on and talking about the Lake Nona Chamber. If you all are looking for a realtor, a professional, reach out to Marissa Smith. Her website is scrolling across the bottom. And of course, you can reach her because we've tagged her in this post. Just click on that hyperlink and you'll find her Facebook page. Thank you, Marissa. You're a joy. Come back anytime. And I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Ted. This was so much fun. And thank you so much for having me.
Excited to finally meet you and excited for what 2022 is going to bring for us